I should have left it there. I should have just walked past and acted like I never saw it. But I didn't. I found a doll in the woods last October. And ever since that moment, my life has been unraveling in ways I can't even explain. I don't care if you believe me. I just need to get this out before it finds me again. Before it climbs back into my bed. It started on a hiking trail. I was about 30 miles outside of Mill River, a quiet mountain town tucked in Colorado's forest belly. I'd rented a tiny off-grid cabin for the weekend, just me, nature, and a week's worth of canned chili. I needed to get away from the noise. From people. From everything. My mind had been fragile lately. Friday afternoon, I went for a walk through a narrow deer trail near the edge of my property, one I hadn't explored before. The trees got denser as I walked, the air colder, even though it was midday. That's when I saw it. At the base of an old pine tree, half buried under dead leaves and pine needles, was a small porcelain doll. Its white face was cracked, and its glass eyes were wide open. Too wide. One eye was chipped, the iris clouded over like a dead fish. Its mouth was painted into a faint smile, and its yellow dress looked handmade, lace, dirty and torn, soaked in earth. The weirdest part? It wasn't rotten. It looked recent. Like someone had placed it there on purpose. I should have turned around. Instead, I picked it up. The moment I touched it, the woods went silent. No birds. No wind. Just this thick, heavy quiet like the forest was holding its breath. I shivered. Not from the cold, but from something else. Something older. Instinctual. Like my body knew I'd just broken some unwritten rule. Still, I took the doll back to the cabin. I don't know why. That night, I put the doll on the mantel above the fireplace. I lit a few candles and opened a book, but I couldn't focus. I kept glancing up, expecting the doll to have moved. It didn't. Not at first. At around midnight, I heard something fall. I walked out of the bedroom to find the doll on the floor, lying on its side, facing the hallway. The wind, I told myself. Maybe the log shifted. I set it back on the mantel. 10 minutes later, I heard the front door creak. It was locked, but it creaked like someone had opened it. The fire flickered violently, and I swear I saw a shadow pass across the wall. That's when I noticed the doll was gone again. I found it in the kitchen, sitting on the counter, facing the window. I didn't sleep that night. By morning, I was already packing. I wasn't going to spend another second with that thing in my cabin. I planned to leave the doll behind and pretend it never happened. But when I stepped outside, the forest looked wrong. It was the same trail from yesterday, but the trees were twisted now, bent like broken limbs. No birds. No sound. The sun looked pale. Sickly. The air smelled metallic. I turned back toward the cabin and froze. The doll was sitting on the front step, facing me. Its head tilted slightly to the side. I threw it. I hurled the thing into the woods as far as I could, then ran to my car. I drove away, heart pounding, trying not to glance at the rearview mirror. Trying not to think about how it was sitting there, watching. By the time I got back home to Denver that night, I convinced myself I was just rattled. Lack of sleep. Cabin paranoia. But that night, as I unpacked my bag, my fingers brushed something smooth and cold. I pulled out the doll. It was inside my backpack. I never put it there. I screamed. I threw it in the trash outside and locked every door in my apartment. At 3:12 a.m., I woke up to the sound of porcelain tapping against glass. It was on my bedroom window, tapping. Staring. Smiling. I burned it. I took it to the fire pit behind my building, doused it in lighter fluid, and watched it burn until it was nothing but ash and cracked bone. I thought it was over. But the next night, I woke up to find it sitting on my chest. It smelled like smoke. Its eyes were melted now, but they still stared. I've tried everything. Burying it. Burning it again. driving it across the state and throwing it into a river. Every time I return, it's there. Sometimes on my pillow, sometimes in the shower. Once, I found it inside my fridge, sitting between the milk and the eggs. I started locking it in a metal box, padlocked, double chained, and every night the box is empty, and the doll is somewhere else in my apartment. But it gets worse. It moves when I'm not looking. I'll be in the living room and I'll hear something creak in the hallway. I'll turn and it's there, just standing. It started whispering last week. I'll wake up to tiny porcelain lips pressed near my ear. It says things I can't unhear. You brought me back. You took me from the roots. The forest remembers. Now you belong to me. Last night, I found soil in my bed, pine needles on the floor, and scratches on my bedroom walls. Deep ones. I haven't been able to sleep for more than a few minutes at a time. My apartment smells like earth and rot. And sometimes, I swear I see trees outside my windows, even though I'm on the 3rd floor, in the middle of the city. It's like the forest is coming with her. Today, I noticed something worse. The doll's face, it looks more like mine now. The shape of the chin, the mouth, even the eyes. Like it's changing. Like it's becoming me. I don't know how to stop it. I've been searching forums, old books, anything. There are stories about dolls being vessels. Forest spirits that latch onto the living when pulled from sacred ground. Some say they're warnings. Others say they're replacements. One thread said, if you find the doll, bury it where you found it. Apologize. And pray. But I don't think I can go back. I don't think the forest will let me leave again. If anyone's reading this, stay away from the woods outside Mill River. There's something old in those trees. Something that wants out. And if you ever see a doll under a pine tree, don't touch it.